Welcome to another fabulous and exciting episode of Manhood Academy podcasting. Let's see if our co-host is ready. Let's see if he's on standby. Is he there? Is he available?
Hello.
Hello?
Oh shit, hold on.
Yes.
I had to close Skype, hold on. Let me just call you in 1 second.
Yeah. Why don't you stall the podcast while you're at it? Why don't you just... Fucking boggles. Are you ready to crash the podcast yet again? You haven't crashed it enough, have you?
No, this time it was a 1 second fix, so it's getting better.
That's awesome.
Because I have multiple programs open.
All right, I got to close as many windows as possible right now because there is so much, there is a mountain of stuff to talk about.
All right.
And
I like it when you have a mountain of stuff to talk about.
I don't like it when there's a mountain of stuff to talk about because I want to, let me tell you something, Boggles, let me tell you a secret about life that you might not know.
I don't know a lot of secrets and I'm always curious to hear.
Well, be careful because curiosity killed the cat. But when it rains, it pours.
Yes, you've said that before.
Yes, I say that a lot because it happens. Let me give you an example. Right now...
And how about when there's drought, there's always drought? Like for
when there's drought, there's always drought. Exactly. When it's raining, it's pouring. When it's droughting, it's dry. Maybe you could use that as a saying.
Okay.
I'm holding my phone in my hand, and it's blinking because there's a text message because I'm trying to text this girl who's bringing stuff over later. So I already have that one thing going on. Uh-huh. Then, about 500 people signed up all at once and also left comments all at the same time. Why can't they space them out, right? Because I'm trying to answer one, and I'm looking in the moderation queue. There's like 1,000 comments in there, and there's still... And while I finished commenting on this one cunt's post that was like a mile long, she instantly typed out a post that was like 10 times longer.
Wow.
Fucking insanity.
The chick who's trying to sound educated from Kansas?
No. That was the lesser of the two retards. But I just finished answering that bitch too, and I'm sure she'll post a rebuttal to that. This is not a men's rights site. This is, but we try to post anything, any criticisms, any reviews of our work. You know, we're not afraid of criticism. We're not afraid of answering the critics. We're not afraid of standing up to women. And we hope and encourage the men on the forum and the men around the world, all the visitors, that they too would take a cue from the instructors here and from the students here and would start standing up to these women and would start answering them. Don't be afraid to answer them. Speak about what you've learned. Speak about your experiences. The thing that a feminist cannot argue with, or that any woman or any man cannot argue with, is your own experience. Mm-hmm. If you say, hey, I'm in a great relationship with a woman, what are they going to say? No, you're not. That's imaginary.
Yeah.
That is your experience. Nobody can argue with your own experience. That's the most powerful thing around. So if you have benefited from some of the experiences at Manhood Academy, some of the things you have learned here, as a lot of guys have, like one of our students, Vic, who's got a girlfriend as a result of the things he's learned here at Manhood Academy, how about you post that experience and say, hey, guess what? I know you like to accuse us of hating women and not being able to be in great relationships with women, but here's my girlfriend right here. She's happy. I'm happy. What do you have to say about that? How come you're accusing us of not being able to maintain a great relationship with a woman, and here's the woman right here?
Well, they're going to say that woman has lower self-esteem than you. Oh,
yeah, that's another argument they throw out there. The woman must have low self-esteem. If she's in a relationship with you, she must have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
She must hate herself. That's why I'm so eager to get a chick on with a feminine. This is my fantasy, to get a feminist cunt over here and to get a girl over here in a relationship and be going, and have the two talk to each other. Right? That would be exciting.
Sweet.
That would be exciting.
That would be very exciting.
It's difficult because of the logistics of the whole thing, but
okay.
I would one day like to get that going, just so.
Yes.
Because again, experience speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the experience, feminists are delusional. They're arguing from theory. They're arguing from fucking textbooks from the 1960s. You know, these arguments are just so childish in nature.
Those textbooks are flawed.
I want to cover. I'm tempted to cover this thing, but I'm afraid we're gonna spend the entire pod. You know what? Fuck it. This is gonna be like maybe a 12-part podcast. We're gonna have to break up because I have so many things to talk about here.
Right.
I have a mountain of stuff, and I'm sure that you've been diligently keeping notes and writing about podcast topics.
I have written notes.
I was being sarcastic. I thought you were not going to have anything there.
Well, I take it as face value, like it's recommended on
I'm
the site.
I'm glad that you take it at face value. I'm glad that you ignore my dysfunctional sarcasm and just tell me, hey, I have taken notes. I have listened to what you said, and I've come prepared to this podcast finally for the first time in my life.
Yeah, so yeah, because there's no way I would know. I have to take it at face value unless I pay super attention to whatever inflection or read your mind or something.
I was hoping you wouldn't be like Travo, attempting to do a podcast or an expression post, from his YouTube video and having absolutely no direction, not having any clue what to say, and just thinking that somebody's going to want to listen to 10 minutes of rambling off the cuff without any training.
Well, maybe you're thinking just being candid would, help make us listen. But
didn't we already talk about that? Didn't we already cover that in the podcast where I asked you if you had anything to add? Like, well, I'll just come up with it off the cuff. I was just hoping you'd do all the work. I was just magically going to just have things to talk about.
Yes, that was the typical student mentality that I was, American student.
So you're encouraging that from Travel. Is that what you're saying? You're saying Travel should just rip it.
I realize I see the problem with that, and I do not encourage that.
Good.
I discourage that.
I discourage that too. As well trained as I am in speaking off the cuff,
yes,
I have a mountain of notes in front of me that I want to just topics
you
about
you
just
have
topics
to
of things I want to talk about.
Because we just see you as this final product and think, oh, we just want to somehow magically emulate you when we don't realize the amount of work that you put into it.
There's a lot of preparation.
Well, you're not very transparent with your preparation. You do the Wizard of Oz. You just show us
I don't film every time I take a crap. I don't film every time I take a push-up. I don't film every time I brush my teeth.
We think of you as a superhuman.
Yes, you are vastly retarded. I do not underestimate that fact. But there's only so many ways to get across the fact that I put in the effort. Here's the thing. Effort, repetition, training is boring to watch. It's not exciting. Like if I'm brushing my teeth every day and I film that to show you that I do brush my teeth every day, it's boring. It's not exciting.
Well, then in that case, us writing blogs is boring as fuck, but then we gotta do it.
Well, the thing you should realize is that the blogs aren't boring. Your perspective is boring. The blogs are actually a great opportunity to kill like 20 birds with one stone. Not only do you get a therapeutic writing, a purging of yourself when you're typing and talking and expressing things and sharing and getting feedback from other students. You're getting the social aspect from your blogs. You're getting feedback from the instructors. You're practicing honing your expression. You're practicing organizing your thoughts. You're practicing becoming more coherent. You're practicing how to convey your person in a written form to another person. You're practicing how to speak to other people, because a lot of times your written work translates into your oral presentation. The way you organize things on the page translates in how you speak to people. So there's all these peripheral benefits, all these side benefits to doing your blogs, to writing, to practicing daily writing. But you don't see that because you don't do it daily.
Yes, and it takes time for me to see value in things, and now I'm seeing value in things.
Yes, it takes time to have these realizations. You're not going to have a realization from one blog post. Just like your perspective about writing is not going to change with two posts. If you posted every day for a year, your perspective on writing would change. Your perspective on expression would change just through repetition, just through training yourself to do it over and over. You would realize that writing is an opportunity, not a chore. It's a chore to people who are not good at it, just like it's a chore to play basketball if you don't have any basketball training. It's a chore to play baseball if you don't know how to swing a bat. It's a chore. It would be a chore for me to program in C++, since I have zero training in C++. Whereas somebody who is like a hacker hacking into, a network, it's kind of exciting for them. It's like, it's a challenge. It's fun. It's like solving a Rubik's Cube. Whereas if you give me a Rubik's Cube and I look at all those cubes, all the colors all frazzled and placed everywhere, it's a chore to me because I'm not trained in it. I'm not trained to view it in a trained, competent way.
I'm slowly seeing that.
Training affects your perspective.
Yes. It cuts out bullshit. It affects your perspective.
There's a billion things to talk about. Okay. I'm tempted to talk about the new things, like the things I just worked on, like this post. I'm so conflicted. I want to talk about. We should just check these off as we talk about them. So, and we have your list too, right?
Yeah, I do, and I also have some thoughts that come into my mind.
Yes, we have a lot of things to go over. So I want to have a virtual list here. Can we get
prompted me.
Can we get a Google Wave going or something where we could both look at the same list?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Let's do that. I'm gonna go Wave. Didn't they cancel Wave?
Yeah, didn't they shut it down?
Well, they definitely shut down all the support for it. So let's see if there's anything to salvage off of here.
Okay, I was thinking like a counterpoint to expression.
New Wave. Shut up for a second. Okay, I'm going to send you...
But at this point, it's important.
Yeah, great. How about you shut up for a second? Okay, New Wave. Do I just click New Wave with you? Oh, no, add recipients here.
Wow, that thing is still open? Okay,
wow. Okay, there you are. I'm going to paste all our podcast notes in there so we both have access to them. Copy. Paste. Look at this. Look at this technology. So amazing. So
Ooh,
so
sweet.
sexy.
I can see you type, yeah.
Okay, there is the whole
Hold on, let me use the other browser.
jumble of notes.
Okay. Google Wave.
There's a look behind the screen of the Wizard of Oz. As you can see, my notes are somewhat disjointed and somewhat personalized. They're not super explicit because I kind of latch onto words. Like I wrote one note that says site names, comma, reason.
Uh-huh.
It's talking about that post about coming up with different site names, things like that.
Yeah.
So I just jotted a little note. That's kind of how I do things sometimes. Other times I try to make a more explicit note if I think it's an important subject, something I want to talk about in depth. I want to make sure at least I have a solid thesis statement or a solid note on that subject.
Yes.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm switching my windows and thinking about what you said and thinking about what I wanted to say, which you interrupted me from saying.
What did you want to say?
Well, okay, all this expression training and stuff, right? I mean, you have very proficient in English. What about like an
very
average...
what?
You're very proficient in English and the way you can use your words and stuff. What about the average plumber, who's coming back from work, who wants to attract a woman?
The average plumber...
So he has to...
Who's coming back from work, he wants to attract a woman. Okay.
Or he has to be realistic with his expectation.
Fuck. Why does everything have to happen all at once? Hold on a second.
Crashed out.
Yeah, I'm going to pause the podcast for 1 second. Okay, we're back. It's day... Wait, let me jack up the volume again. It's day 2 of this podcast, of this marathon podcast. We have the Bogglers with us. I better go get the power cord. Why don't you talk for a second?
Okay. Well, played tennis after many days today, and it was good to get out there. Really enjoyed playing in the sun after a long time and, hitting some solid strokes with some old people. So.
Okay, hopefully everybody hasn't left and they're still here. All right, let me plug this in real quick. All right, we're ready to rock.
I can't do it, man.
No, we're ready to rock.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got a good echo in here. I don't know how loud this is going to be.
Okay.
So just speak up.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. There we go. All right, I'm gonna give you a link here. Are you in let me see. Oh yeah, I'm in invisible mode. I gotta go visible. I don't want any of you losers to see me. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna send you a link to an awesome blog about the Manhood Academy.
Wow, okay.
It's amazing chick post.
Okay. That's what I assumed when you said
It's
blog.
talking about... This is one of the chicks... let me see here. What does this thought go to? This blog belongs to one of our recent visitors from the Visitor Center.
Oh, so she's a famous person.
She's famous.
Okay.
Her name is Guarded Guest. Guarded Guest. And she's so guarded that she fucking Twittered all her information on her Twitter along with her picture.
Ooh,
Because she was so excited to share her post with the world. So she's on one hand she's guarded on her site because her identity is totally secret. It says guarded. You're allowed. We allowed anonymous posting, right? You can post anonymously if you want. But on the other hand, she's like on her Twitter, Manhood Academy. Look at this awesome post I posted about Manhood Academy for everybody to see. So her vanity is her undoing here. Okay.
Did she post your reply on her sites?
No.
Sorry.
She's definitely not going to post our reply because our reply is fairly...
Blow her away.
I don't know if I want to characterize it as vicious, but it's fairly accurate. Okay, this website, the Manhood Academy, the title evokes imagery. What the fuck are you reading?
There it is. Oh. Holy fuck.
As always, our co-host, Boggles, is completely fucking off track. Complete disaster. Also... It's evident why he's the worst student at Manhood Academy. I just gave him a link so that he could read the site, or he could read the post I was referring to while we were both podcasting here. But instead, he's in a chat room beating off to chat kids doing ASL.
I got the point.
Okay.
Can you send it again?
Oh, you want me to send it one more time?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Let's just fucking derail this whole podcast.
Got it.
Got that?
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
I wish to continue. Okay,
yes, you wish to continue. Oh, you have a totally inverse layout on your...
Yeah, man, you can look at the screen for...
Boggler's browser is black for his eyes. The text is light-colored, background's black-colored. Yeah. Mine is just the opposite.
Yeah.
Light-colored background, black-colored text.
Look at it longer. LOL, Manhood Academy, LOL.
LOL, I think there's going to be some fun had at our expense here. Something tells me This is going to be a mocking, satirical
She
post
even
about
has
Manhood Academy.
ROFMLAO.
And there's a ROFLMAO. These are a lot of acronym, or a lot of letters in this acronym. Rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off. That's going to be my guess. And I think there's going to be a lot of rolling. When you see her picture, it's posted in the student forum. It's because we answered her last post. She made some post about how amazingly attractive she was to prove to us what she was saying was true.
Okay.
So we have photographic evidence that disproves all our theories and disproves our entire book.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, so we'll check that out at the very end of this.
And she pats herself on the back for being called a cunt.
Yes, okay, so she talks about the title of Manhood Academy. This website's called the Manhood Academy. The title evokes image. I better fucking put my. I love this little application I got for Apple. It's called Caffeine. And the screen. Apple's kind of brilliant in that they make the screen dim to save energy for you. But sometimes you're reading something. Whenever you're doing something, it fucking dims, and you're like, why?
Especially when you're on the Manhood form.
And there's nothing you can do about it except like change your entire default settings. So instead, I got this little coffee cup at the top. It's cute, and I just click it, and the coffee cup fills up, and then the screen doesn't dim. Nice. It's amazing you have to get an application just to prevent your screen from non-dimming temporarily. You'd think Apple, in all their brilliant technological savvy and design, would think of that. Yeah, but that's fucking amazingly... Anyways,
yeah.
Okay, it says the title evokes imagery of various things like little boys in their tighty-whities pretending they're men in loincloths. This is a common insult from feminists. Mm-hmm. You know, when you're a guy exposing feminism, women look at you as little boys. And particularly, I've noticed like a lot of the most scathing feminist attacks, a lot of the most vicious, most, in your face rhinoceros attacks come from rhinoceros-shaped women. Like,
yeah, I would have.
I
haven't even seen the picture, but I
don't know if you remember the last incarnation of Manhood Academy where we posted a long diatribe from some feminists, and at the end, she looks like basically a warthog, a monster. I think we've actually posted her picture on the site. Maybe we'll have to repost for this special podcast. You get an idea of what feminists look like, but the hardcore ones, it's no coincidence.
Oh yeah, they look like nasty guys or something.
They look like men. Yeah. They look like guys. They look like vicious wild animals. Rhinoceros.
You had a whole post of all these feminist quotes and
yes, and there's just chicks are just huge rhinoceroses.
They're hideous.
So this chick is no different. She's a rhinoceros too, but she refers to us as little boys. This is a common shaming tactic, a demonization of men standing up for themselves. You're little boys. You're too immature, implying that she's the pinnacle of maturity. She's what you want to aspire to. Okay, so she's already denigrating us and saying we're men in loincloths, painting themselves in ketchup and dancing around a trash can bonfire. So we're homeless kids playing with ketchup paints.
Ooh, a lot of the Flies, nice.
Pounding their baseball bats in the ground. We got baseball bats and beating their chests to the soundtrack of Lord of the Flies. Laughing. She's laughing at us. I can imagine this big jolly Santa Claus laughter coming from her gut. It's definitely like there's a hollow rotund sound in that laughter. It's like Jabba. So we're playing with our baseball bats around our trash can bonfire and beating our chests. Another cliched feminist demonization of men standing up for themselves. We're Lord of the Flies. Everybody's going crazy. We're beating bats. Warriors! We're like that gang. Warriors, come out to play!
Making all these assumptions.
Yes. But, again, she's a chick. She's a feminist. It's like a double whammy going on right there. So we're beating our chests. Another imagery of, another mischaracterization of masculinity. Mm-hmm. A common feminist satire has men beating their chests like we're cavemen. We're too dumb. Beat chest. Powerful man.
Have to have beer.
Right. Have to have a beer in our hand. Scratching our belly. Okay, so she gets there laughing. Oh, job. Or a poorly written Harlequin novels in reverse. Instead of heaving honey-nectared breasts and throbbing organs, we have what the fuck? This chick is writing some kind of dire romance novel. Honey-nectared breasts and throbbing organs. Her breasts, I don't know if I could characterize them as honey-nectared, but okay.
She did drink a lot of honey.
She drank a lot of honey during her youth because it shows. And throbbing organs. We have a group of lonely, desperate, pimply-faced boys. So we have another cliched attack here. Lonely. If you stand up yourself, you're a lonely feminist. You won't. Translation: you're not getting any pussy.
You're an outcast.
You're an outcast. Desperate, of course. Yeah. Can't get a woman. Pimply faced. You have to be. You have to have pimples. You have to be a boy. You have to be totally immature. Living in their parents' basement. Ooh. I didn't even see that one coming. You fucking kidding me? This is the first time I heard this one. Living in their parents' basement. Fuck. I'm sorry, not in their basement. Usually your basement. I'm wrong here. It says living in their parents' homes. Okay. So we're still at home. Everybody's still at home. Everybody on the site is 13 or younger at their parents' house typing this up. with ketchup on their face. Fantasizing that they're manhoods, quote manhoods. I think she's referring to our penises. This is a slight on our penises, because this is another common feminist attack. You know, men always think with their penis. Men are too dumb to come up with any kind of intelligent thoughts, make any intelligent points. Meanwhile, we created the whole fucking society you live in. Every fucking invention you can think of made by a man that matters. Other than women invented cookie dough and the rolling pin or something like that.
Pin,
windshield wiper, all those important things invented by women.
But they need to be reminded. They keep forgetting that. Everybody forgets that.
I love it when they share. They say women, when you post things about men inventing basically the entire civilization, chicks are always posting in response. But women invented stuff too. Here's the link to the cookie dough they invented. Here's the link to the windshield wiper. You know why a man didn't invent the windshield wiper? Because he was too busy inventing like fucking nuclear fission, the engine, buildings, architecture, astronomy, inventing the entire society. Maybe if he was like considering, okay, on his way home it's raining. Fuck, I should probably invent something for this car that I just invented yesterday with a combustion engine. Maybe later on, when I have more time to fuck around, I'll invent a windshield wiper. And then the chick beat him to it. Fuck! Can't take credit for that invention, sorry.
I don't know if I even trust all these female inventors.
That's another thing I was thinking while I was in the shower, because it's a common theme now. It's been exposed before to give a woman credit. Like a lot of manginas out there, they've actually invented these things, but they're such sackless faggots. They're like, oh no, my wife was there. She was helping me along the way. She was baking the cookies. The cookies she invented while I invented the combustion engine. So I'm going to give her credit. Her name's going to be on the invention patent. So you see this ridiculous trend of women being included in male inventions. So it's so hard to trust anything written nowadays, especially because it's so doctored and controlled and manipulated by the feminist establishment. It's, statistics, anything with percentages, something as simple as a patent, manipulated to make it appear as if women are more involved. Like when you read a story, I was reading a story about the Boston Marathon, and the headlines are touting women doing these awesome achievements compared to men. Women are doing so much better than men. Meanwhile, they point out a little small byline. Oh, by the way, we let women start like an hour ahead. Oh, by the way, this little significant fact that changed the whole fucking course of the story. Yeah, we'll just relegate that to the back page. So even the way things are portrayed in the media are emphasizing artificial, manufactured, trumped up accomplishments by women that just have no fucking basis in reality. If you look at the thing objectively, you go, wait, that's why. Oh, wait, that's why. Oh, women always, say, oh, we're in the police force, we're in the military too. Yeah, but we had to lower all the entrance standards for you to get in, right? I mean, things like that. Oh, look at, I love how one of the feminists posted, oh, guess what? Women are smarter than guys. Now look at, women are graduating in greater numbers and getting higher college degrees. They're smarter, right?
I'm surprised it's not getting old. They gotta keep showing news like this over and over again. Like, it's like, look at women doing this. It's like they have to prove something when they're not actually, like, if you're trying so hard to prove something. Here's
the way you can disprove all these foolish feminist theories. You have to get them away from Wikipedia. You have to get them away from all these stupid, retarded, manufactured statistics or the way they doctor statistics. And you just have to get them in the room. You and them. And you have a brain battle of common sense. And you try to reason your point out. They will fucking die. That's where the drowning starts. Okay, so let's get back to this.
Well, our forum is one place like that. They generally die pretty quickly.
They die fairly quickly because they, unlike other, typical feminist forums where they're allowed to either delete your posts or doctor them, etc. We will answer you. We are not afraid of answering you. But we'll answer you straight on.
Another problem is they have to have certain intelligence, and they can never see the point if they're too dumb.
That's the other thing. Yeah. We've realized over time that it's pointless to argue with feminists. It's more practical, more effective to argue with men, to teach men, to teach manginas.
It seems like women need like an emotional punch or something, even then they...
Yeah, it's like if you could come up with 5,000 different ways to defeat their argument, and they'll just completely ignore it and just keep on going. It shows how dumb they are. They're not paying attention to what you're saying because they don't respect you. This is what we talk about in the ebook. Mm-hmm. So there's really no point in educating feminists. We're not here to educate feminists. We're here to educate men who are going to be leading society, who are going to be running society. So... let's get back here. We're busy fantasizing about our manhoods and anything more that the shriveled up puny stacks of dimes that they really are. Women love to talk about how tough they are compared to us men. So amazing. By the way, who do women rely on to protect them in society? Is it other women?
No, policemen.
Right.
Men, firemen.
Because I'd like to see like a cage match between all the feminists who say that men are puny and all those men who are made fun of, and just put them in a cage match to the death. And they can't call in any government officials. They can't call in any male police force, and they have to defend themselves. And let's see who's really puny. I think there's a video on YouTube of a guy just being attacked by two chicks, and he just basically shows, look, this is reality. I know you've seen an Angelina Jolie movie where she beats up 20 chicks, but this is what happens when chicks attack guys. Like two on one, he just destroys them, decimates them.
But we'll need some non-Manjana guys in there, you know, who are like, oh, I can't hit a woman. We need guys who actually fucking beat the shit out of them. They act funny.
We don't want to condone your violent tendencies, Bogler. Sorry, we have to nix that idea. Of course, while they're slapping that old salami around, slapping her old cock around, they're imagining that their dicks are as huge and intimidating as a rhinoceros horn.
Wow.
I think she's mistaking her rhinoceros body for our rhinoceros horns. I think that could be the problem here. And in the words of one of the cute little apes, again, here's the thing.
Oh, okay, ape, yeah.
Women love to lecture you on net etiquette, arguing, debating, civility, behavior. But you could see when this cunt has nobody monitoring her behavior. Look at all these childish, insane insults that she's lobbed at us in the first 2 paragraphs of her post. Nothing logical, nothing coherent, nothing rational. It's just all demonization.
Imagination running wild.
Imagination running wild, insults, delusions, right? It's just this bitter, angry, reflexive, emotional, childish attack. So you could see feminists, particularly female feminists, are just basically hypocrites that don't want to acknowledge their own hypocrisy. You know, if you read her post on our site lecturing us, if somebody's going to lecture you on, civility, on insults, don't insult us. I know it's okay. It's perfectly okay for them to insult us, but don't you dare insult. No, we can insult you, but don't insult us back.
I think they already think she's so much higher or something.
That is the delusion going on here. So it's almost like the emperor's new clothes. You don't see any problem with yourself. You're so busy pointing out the errors in other people. You don't ever see yourself in the mirror. You don't ever see your own hypocritical reflection. So here she is talking about us, slamming our own salamis around, our huge dicks, characterizing us as cute little apes. And in the words of one of the cute little apes, getting off on a chick's shaved taco. Oh yeah, I'm ready to cream myself, reading that bit of hot, sexy talk. And then she rolls on the ground. That's okay. Yeah, these 2 board heads who called it board heads.
So funny.
What's board heads? All right, I don't know. I guess board heads. We're board heads. Some kind of hardcore insult. These 2 board heads. Is that like a play on meatheads or something? I don't even know.
No, like
it's
your head on a board or something. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to imagine.
Some avant-garde insult. These 2 board heads who call themselves Dr. Ladice and Professor Plum created this academy. Everything's in quotes. I mean, why didn't she just fucking put the whole paragraph in quotes? Dr. Ladice quotes, Professor Plum quotes, academy
She's
quotes.
She's sensationalizing everything.
Yes. Created this academy to train men how to reclaim their lost, quote, masculinity. For some strange reason, I keep wanting to call Dr. Ladice, Delice. Delice.
Oh, the play
She's dyslexic, I guess. I don't know. She wants to call Dr. Ladice Delice. Like he's a little lice. He's a little louse, little insect, little parasite. But I'm sure that minor, nitpicky detail would not go over well with a man of his stature.
Oh, like some sarcastic?
Yes, sarcasm. Dripping with sarcasm. Just like we're done. As for Professor Plum, who's a brain the size of a raisin. Who has a brain the size of a raisin has? As for Professor Plum, some kind of hardcore grammar going on here.
Well, ours definitely has a lot more facts than hers, even when we criticize her.
Well, I'm trying to work my way through this hardcore sentence. Do you mind?
Okay, go
As
ahead.
for Professor Plum, who has a brain the size of a raisin, has underdeveloped critical thinking skills and an overdeveloped ego. He behaves as though he truly believes that ad hominem is legitimate debate.
Hold on, what is she doing?
Yeah. None of this is ad hominem? Is that what you're trying to imply? That all this is ad hominem free? These incredible cunts. Okay, that's the reason I wanted to save the last post that she put up there. But it was basically like this times 1,000. Like I responded to her post and I thought, hey, right? Explaining enough? No. She comes back with 10 times as much nonsense in the same vein as this. So I didn't want to tire myself out and I didn't want to tire the visitors out having to read the nonsense. So I just basically highlighted the important parts. I even got called a cunt. No way.
Ooh.
Why would we call her a cunt? Pats herself on the back.
Because she's behaving like a cunt?
Yeah, because she is a cunt.
Yeah, she is a cunt, exactly.
When we say terms like cunt and bitch, we don't mean them like like you would say poopy head. We don't mean them like you would say ape. See, if I was just trying to...
We're diagnosing her.
Yeah, I'm diagnosing your condition. You're a cunt. This is shorthand for saying you're a woman who's trying to usurp male authority. You're a woman who's trying to become a man. That is a cunt.
Very similar to a bitch.
Very similar to a bitch. A bitch is a less severe form of a cunt.
Yeah, cunt is extreme.
Cunt is extreme. This is
exactly.
a cunt.
She's exactly a cunt. Yeah,
Cannot hear reason. Totally emotionally based.
and insane.
Emotionally based arguments. Insanity, delusion. Trying to put herself in an authoritative position over men. You could see this. You could tell a cunt whenever she refers to you as like a little boy, like a little boy character.
Yeah.
She's a cunt.
She already thinks of herself as.
She already thinks of herself as the man.
Yeah.
Okay, so she pats herself on the back. Been a while since I threatened little boy. Since I had a threatened little boy react with that particular word.
Oh, been a while. Like what?
Yeah, been a while.
What is that?
Been a whole week. He didn't much seem to like that I asked him for citations and references to back up his assertions. Okay, this is what these dumb cunts also don't understand. Look, we had an initial version of this book that caused a lot more controversy because we did have like billions of citations and things like that.
Probably.
Right. So these retards, these women are so dumb. These feminists are so dumb. The manginas are so dumb. They can't figure out that this book is titled The Principles of Social Competence, not arguing the fallacies of feminism. There are already billions of sites out there that debunk feminism. Mm-hmm. Go to Reddit. Go to Reddit /r/men's rights.
Okay.
Argument after argument. Go to
just look at men's rights. There's go to Google, type in men's rights. There's that dude on who appears on TV every now and then. He has a bunch of good
Go
arguments.
to YouTube. I mean, even if you're too fucking lazy to read, you can go to YouTube and hear these arguments in person from many educated people that debunk all these feminist bullshit arguments. Roy Den Hollander. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that already have dedicated their lives to exposing the fallacy of feminism. This is not that book. If we did that, our readers would fall asleep. They're not here to learn why feminism is a fraud, is perpetrating a fraud on society. They're here to learn how to become socially competent because of the damage that feminism has caused them. We don't want to stress. We don't want this book to stress. Here's the problem. When we emphasize feminism in the former version of our site, a lot of guys got into the mindset of starting to complain because there's so many instances in the news and media of things happening, and you could see where feminism's at work. And it was turning into a complaint-a-thon, like, oh, look at how women are being unfair here. Look at how feminists are being unfair in this instance over here. And it gets to the point where instead of working on becoming socially competent, what you can do about it, you end up spending all your time complaining. Mm-hmm. And we don't want guys to learn how to complain.
Like chicks.
Yeah, we don't want them to end up like chicks. We want them to learn how to become socially competent. That means they need to work on developing their authority. There are already too many sites out there that expose the fraudulent, hypocritical, self-serving, sexist nature of feminism. This is not that book. That's why we touch on it very lightly.
It's good to be aware, though.
It's good to be aware. It's definitely good to be aware. In our forum that's accessible to students, we actually kept the first version of Section 1, the first kind of draft of Section 1, which did have a lot of citations and did focus a lot on feminism. But you can see in our latest revision, we don't want to stress the problem too much, but we want to get to finding the solution. It's important to understand it's definitely important to understand the problem so you understand how you got this way, but it's more important that you work on the solution and work on developing your authority.
But in terms of arguing a feminist, we're still not aware how to do it, like in the way you rip them apart.
Yeah, that's because you're retarded. You don't fucking read anything we post on the site. You don't practice talking to people. I mean, you can have these arguments down intellectually in your head, but you don't even have that. I mean, there's so many resources out there on Google. You're like a lazy woman.
Okay.
Yes. You're like a lazy woman. That is your problem. You're telling me there's not enough information out there so you don't know how to competently answer a feminist in some of these arguments? How many times have we answered them? You've been there for the whole ride of the forum's inception, the previous version of the forum. You have access to the first section of the book. No, I can't do it.
I do to a certain degree, but when they get too insane sometimes,
Yeah, but it's the same arguments over and over. It's not like they change.
Yeah, and I can see that. It's just that I haven't actually tried telling some other bitch to shut up and give these reasons.
Well, as we tell you before, you don't need to argue with women. That's a losing battle. Yeah. You need to gain a person's respect before they're going to listen to you. If you're trying to reason with a person, you're assuming that they already respect you. Mm-hmm. If they're not listening to you, you're wasting your breath if you're trying to reason with them. Yes. So in order to talk to women, you first have to gain their respect. Mm-hmm. That's number one. Okay. So, okay, that's okay. He didn't much seem to like that I asked him for citations and references to back up his assertions, which she doesn't do. He even tried to turn it around and ask me to present mine chortling merrily. I love these little
Hold on, she didn't
these
answer
little
that.
notes.
What about hers?
I love these direction notes, chortling merrily.
Chortling
A
merrily.
little asterisk. That's like the stage direction.
Uh,
This is the part where I chortle merrily. I can just imagine this beast chortling. And of course, here I'm being very kind. It's a good thing she's so kind.
she didn't tell us why she didn't give her citations.
When I say he asked me, it wasn't quite so well mannered. Is she trying to imply that she has manners? I mean, imagine this cunt trying to lecture you on manners when you read these first few paragraphs. You're like, this cunt has manners?
Wait, she's completely blind to what she's
Yeah,
doing.
she's completely blind to the hypocrisy here. Okay. He, period. I guess that's a sentence. He created a website. He claims to be all about helping men, presumably to get them laid. She doesn't even, presumably, assumptively. Did I just make up a Mike Tyson word, assumptively? Presumably to get them laid. She's assuming that the whole goal behind this is to get laid. And of course
She hasn't read the book.
Yeah, because she's fucking retarded.
And lazy.
She makes the same stupid assumptions that women make over and over and over again. Again, this is why we tell men, we teach men, don't try to reason with women until you first have the respect. We've already presented a reasonable argument that addresses this false accusation of that we're just here to get you guys laid. We're just concentrating on getting you laid. We already fucking slam pickup artists, the whole seduction community, for that type of mindset. For just saying, hey, we want to get you laid as soon as possible. We already talk about the dangers of that. We have posts on our forum that cover that fallacy, that cover that nonsense, that cover that poor approach to social interaction. And her assumption is, hey, these guys just want to get laid. Typical, stupid, uneducated female assumption.
Did you read the part about complimenting each other, meeting each other's needs?
No.
I thought that's in the book.
I'm pretty sure she didn't read that. I'm pretty sure she read that as getting laid. Complimenting needs means getting laid. He makes all kinds of assertions about feminism without citation. I want to kill myself, and we're not even a fourth of the way through this post. I already want to kill myself. I asked him to back them up.
Ooh.
And I told her to fuck off and go Google this. That's what I told this bitch. I'm sorry, cunt. I'm sorry, I misspoke here. He told me that the Sheeple Cave website, Sheeple Cave.
Chick writers at their finest.
Sheeple Cave website is a veritable goldmine of references and what have you. Blink, more stage direction. Bah ha 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 ha. Oh, fuck, Professor Prune. It's not on me to cite you. It's on you to cite you. As a passing casual observer, a tourist, if you will, there's no call for me to cite myself if I challenge something you've claimed is published online to help everyone.
I've heard that argument before. Like, if you claim something, the burden's on you or something.
Oh, God. You know what's on me? You know what burden's on me? This fat bitch. Her fucking gigantic rhinoceros body is fucking on me. That'd be like a prosecutor asserting a defendant prove his own innocence. Doesn't work that way, Snowflake.
Ooh.
Thank you. The burden of proof is on the person making all the nonsensical claims, or in this case, you.
I've heard this one before.
I'm pretty sure that when we teach men how to do something, and they go do it in their experience and have it reflect what was written in the ebook,
that proves.
Isn't that the best fucking proof of all? Better than fucking doctored statistics, doctored surveys, manipulated numbers,
statistics, yeah.
Flat out lies in
academia.
Academia?
Academia, that's
and macadamia nuts.
Academia nuts.
The lies presented by macadamia nuts that you'll find in many colleges across America, many feminist institutions of learning.
It's justified by, it's okay if
it's very simple. It's very simple for stupid cunts like this to go around rote learning theory, conjecture, fraudulent conjecture. It's very easy to go around learning statistics and numbers, but it's very hard to use your brain. It's very hard to think and present a coherent, rational argument. It's very hard to tie in your experience and all the things that people have said, the way they behave, and to come up with a coherent answer, a coherent, reasonable answer that appeals to everybody without having to cite a false statistic.
60% of women are doing this.
60%, yeah. How do you fucking know that? You don't know the variables that affected that survey. You don't fucking know how that, there's... we posted, in fact, we addressed this fallacy too. We posted in the student forum the dangers of relying on things like, there's fraudulent peer review. You know, in the highest scientific journals, there's a fraudulent use of statistics and numbers. I mean, this is old hat. This is not something new. This is not something we just came up with yesterday. There are proven cases of fraud in many academic circles that are just accepted as fact because dumb cunts like this don't have the capacity to reason objectively on their own. They haven't been trained to reason objectively. So what else do they have to rely on? Regurgitating fraudulent information. A lot of people are not aware about the frauds in that. Yeah, they're too dumb to investigate things on their own. And the real danger is when they start backwards rationalizing their experiences to fit their fraudulent theories. Just like, we'll see. I love how this chick says, prove it. And then her advice to me in the post that I removed part of it, this is the one that had miles of nonsense in it. She says, how many surveys have you handed out to women? This shows me just how fucking dumb she is. Okay. Have you ever received a survey or a census in the mail? On anything. Okay, how about online? Have you ever seen these surveys online? Hey, who's the better singer? What's the more exciting outfit? Have you ever just fucking clicked on the answer just to see the next page or just clicked on an answer you knew was wrong? There's so many ways to fuck up a survey.
Oh, yeah. You can have a biased survey.
Yeah, there's so many fucking problems with taking a survey. This dumb cunt can't even fathom. In her mind, when you take a survey, there's no way to lie on it. There's no way to damage the credibility, sir. It's 100% true.
But the way the word surveys is very...
Okay, it just makes me want to kill myself. Okay.
She should get a clue from how they do these proposition wordings. They twist them around, yes,
She is too dumb to consider that. It's very superficial reasoning on her part. Of course, the sheep will want to believe them, who want to believe they're men, quote, quote, men. Everything's in quotes in this fucking post. Buy it. Professor Prune, not Prune, sorry. Professor Prune has convinced them he's walking on water, when in fact all he's doing is splashing around in the shallow end. Poor kid. Poor little boy. I'm so much more mature than him.
All the guys in the feel like they're walking in water.
Yeah, I'm Jesus, awesome. His mommy must not have breastfed him as a baby.
Oh, this one, man, I've heard this so many times.
Still laughing. Stage direction, still laughing. What a magoo. What the fuck is a magoo?
Have not been breastfed by his mommy, so...
Everything's in a mommy context, like you're a baby, you're infantilized. They love to infantilize men.
So if you never had breast milk...
Can hardly wait to see what he'll say next. Well, you get to see what I'm going to say next, because we're going to go over to the student forum. We're going to travel over to the student forum. Beep. And I didn't want to torture the other visitors with this post.
0 comments.
So... I just put this in the student forum, her last response. And I just quoted her. All her awesome arguments. Your, quote, quote, inadequacy section. Do we even have an inadequacy section? What is that talking about, inadequacies?
I don't know.
I
would think inadequacy.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't have an inadequacy section in our ebook. I don't know where she's getting that from. And your inadequacy, I can't even say this word. Your inadequacy section is too disgusting and barbaric to even respond to. We're barbarians.
Yeah, using that word, yeah.
What is ironic about it is that my husband and I are considered, even by your definition, right, more quotes, a physically attractive couple. Both tall, fitting your aesthetically appealing features.
Ooh.
And then we have our pictures here. And we have the first picture of our hippo on the left. And you got to take into account, this is a MySpace side view of this chick, and it looks like a front view. It like if you had a normal chick, a chick of a normal size standing straight on, that would probably be her waistline. But this is her from the side.
Wow.
You can imagine her from the front, and then you get a lovely shot of her, a candid shot of her face without makeup, and then you get her super attractive
computer or something.
Yeah, her husband right there. So this is the prototypical physically attractive couple.
He looks like a perfect Mangina.
The good thing that guys should be encouraged is that how they attract women, or how women respond to male attraction, or how they're attracted, what attracts them about males, has very little to do with their physical appearance. Mm-hmm. So this guy's looks are largely irrelevant. His authority and his ability to create order is what's going to attract her. So his looks, largely irrelevant. That's the good news for him, because from looking at this picture, that's the swirly Q on top of his head does not look to me like the prototypical physically attractive couple. And she is like a -7. I don't know.
But in her mind,
in her mind, she's the epitome of the physically attractive couple. Tall, fit, Does she mean fit in relation to a rhinoceros? Because again,
relative,
this is a side view of her, and it looks like a front view of a normal chick.
Relative to
Is this fit? Is this like fit compared to a tank? Fit
like
compared to
the
the
people on the
average
beach
American
with
woman? Yeah. Fit compared to what? Here's some more of her quotes. I just highlighted the most amazing parts here. In this, you sound like a nonsensical moron. Further, you're clearly either gay or homophobic.
Gay now?
You're gay. That's it. That's a logical conclusion. If you don't like her, if you don't like this tons of fun, you're gay.
Yeah, okay.
Or homophobic. We're scared of fags because we're gay, but then we're scared of ourselves. No wonder you can't get laid. Okay, nobody has had sex on the site. So does that mean if somebody has, if even one person, let's say we have like 5,000 guys on the site, and one person has sex,
that's it.
Her whole claim's gone? Or how many people have to get laid for this claim to be disproven? You want to make friends or get a date, everything in quotes again, much less have a circle of friends and a life partner. You don't tell people what's wrong. Wait. I'm trying to understand the sense. You don't tell people what's wrong with them based on your own perceptions, because your perceptions are limited. You fool!
You need to use her perception.
You fool! You need to use my perceptions. And again, her perception is she represents a physically attractive woman. She's a 500-pound physically attractive woman.
Well, I guess when you use a delusional perception, everybody's kind of happy. Everyone's all delusional.
I guess so. You don't get laid. You don't get a life partner.
Did she already mention laid?
You don't have kids. You end up alone. You're doomed. If you don't love this chubby rhinoceros, there's no hope. You won't find a girl. You're living in a fantasy land of your own design.
That's so ironic.
The irony. Listen to this sentence. You're living in a fantasy land of your own design. The irony. Oh, the irony. If you think that your definitions apply to the entire human species, don't.
Her definitions?
Imagine if we have her definitions. Imagine if she represented
happy fatties everywhere.
A hot chick. Imagine if you had to look forward to this. If we had to take her magical definitions, since she doesn't want to take our definitions, she's going to take her definitions. How many guys do you think would right now go outside and hang themselves from a rafter somewhere if she represented the hottest chick you could possibly get?
Yeah, that would be.
I would put a gun in my mouth and kill myself right now if I looked outside at it and because imagine there's still got to be uglier chicks than her. Imagine the ugly chicks. Okay, now imagine her. She represents the physically hottest chick you can get. I'd be like, where's the gun? Done.
Human race dying out.
Yes. They're laughing at you because you are little more than a butt of a joke.
Irony.
The word delusional is worth repeating here. Any real woman would not come within 50 miles of you. So she's implying here that she represents what a real woman is about. Okay. I'm glad that real women like her do not come within 50 miles of me. I think that's why when you go on safari in Africa, you're protected in that car. You're driving and they can drive off real quick if the rhinos get too close.
Stuff, yeah.
They have bars, you have rifles. Boiled down, approximately 135 pages of self-important and delusional dribble. Okay. So we've posted her pic. You guys can prove us wrong right now. If you think she's the most attractive woman, physically attractive woman on the planet, you should not be a Manhood Academy. You should be taking her course. We can only present things objectively. If you believe that she's telling the truth, if you believe that all our arguments are undermined by her gorgeous romantic picture, we have nothing to say. I have nothing to say because the evidence speaks for itself. If you find this woman amazingly, gorgeously attractive, I can't say anything. I can't say anything against you. That's your experience. That's just my opinion. All right. I think I was going to cover the other one, but I don't think I can even handle it right now. It's so painful. And there's another Mangina post from some guy who wrote a blog about us, and I don't even know if I can handle it. I can't handle it right now. That other post was so.
See, what bothers me is that Manginas bother me more than these insane chicks. Like when guys.
Okay, wait. Okay, he actually gave a little short response. Let's see if.
Send me the link.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the link.
Wait.
His here.
You gotta paste in yours.
Yeah. His blog page, website, whatever you want to call it, is titled
Free Thinking for Dummies.
Free Thinking for Dummies.
Free Thinking.
So he represents a genius. Let's see here. His response. Oh, period. My.
Oh, he's friends with
period.
Or something.
Yes. God. Period. Oh my God. Okay. What guy do you want whose opinion starts with oh my God?
Sounds like a feminist.
What a couple of pathetic losers. All the men on this side are pathetic losers. These men have no idea that what being a man means.
Oh, he knows what it is.
He knows. He's going to teach us right now. First off, being a man means not needing training and being a man.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that insane thing.
Okay, yes, but this guy, Geesh, Geessh,
She's like a
Geesh,
girl. Sheesh.
Geesh. First off, being a man means not needing training and being a man. Okay. What this tiny brain moron can't figure out is that, yes, this is not training about how to grow a penis. He's like most retards out there that think that being a man is like, we're going to teach you how to drink a beer or smoke a cigar. These guys are fucking retarded. Of course, they don't bother to investigate our beliefs, investigate our views, investigate our reasonable, practical, educated presentation in our ebook. They don't listen to any of our arguments. They just make these stupid, silly assumptions. Being a man being a man means not needing training and being a man. When you sign up for the military, you sign up for the Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, whatever. Do you get trained?
Yes.
What's that training for?
To serve in the military.
Serve in the military, to be a competent soldier, right? In a lot of areas of life, when you become an engineer, do you just start on the job? They just give you the money and you just start working? What do you have to do?
You have to train.
You have to train. You have to go to school. So you have to learn it. You have to learn something about that occupation.
Yes. Well, he's claiming you should know this automatically.
Yes, you should come out of the womb knowing how to exercise authority over others. You should come out of the womb knowing how to be a leader. Do people need leadership training? Let's say I just took some little kid who's a man. Technically, he's a boy. He's got a penis. He's a man.
Yeah.
Physically speaking, he's a man. Can we just elect him president?
No.
Why not? He's a man. You don't need training. According to this guy, you don't need any training.
Well, he's not mentioning the parts where his parents trained him and shaped him.
Yeah, he forgot all that. He forgot all that
Unless
training.
he's assumed that
he was raised in the wild by wolves and he just grew up being a man.
Tarzan.
No, he had years and years of training under his parents.
Or maybe he means that everybody's parents should have taken care of this and you don't need the extra training.
Yeah, but he's too fucking dumb to even grasp that some people don't have dads.
That's true.
A lot of people don't have dads growing up. Some people receive poor training growing up. A lot of people in the age of feminism receive terrible training in how to be a man, how to exercise your authority.
Yeah, there are no resources out there. There aren't.
There are no resources out there. I mean, imagine this faggot trying to train you to act like a man. Are you kidding me?
You'd be totally lost.
You'd be going to ask, oh my God. You'd be saying, oh my God. Geesh. And you'd be ending every sentence with geesh. Seriously? Geesh, guys. Geesh. Okay. So he says, why so many men seem so threatened by feminists is beyond me. Being a man means being able to have a real conversation with a woman. That's what being a man means. Just being a real conversation. Nothing's defined here. Real conversation. So if I can say, hello, I'm a man.
You have RFU.
I've graduated. I'm a man. Hello. We've had a conversation. It means being able to have a real conversation with a woman as if she were, gasp, a real person with a brain and feelings and shit like that.
Shit like that?
Yeah. Great.
That's it. He made his point.
He made his point. He made his brilliant point. I would like to hold training for men on how to be real men.
Oh,
awesome. I teach them that the world doesn't revolve around their cocks. Okay, so more emasculated shaming. So his idea is that we're trying to teach you guys that your life revolves around your cock. But as a real man trainer, he's going to teach you that your life doesn't revolve around your cock. Fucking retard.
See, that's what doesn't even guys write shit like that.
It's scary to the faggotry that guys are today. That they represent. It's scary. I'd show them that a woman is a human being who you can actually talk to about, well, anything. What the fuck? Doesn't he realize that our whole ebook, The Principles of Social Competence, teaches you how to talk to people, both men and women, to hold more in-depth conversations with them?
He leaves out a lot of truth when he talks to women himself.
You guarantee this guy's a fucking pussy talking to women. I'd love to tape record his conversations. I would just die. I would die dissecting those things. I'd let them know that it takes a hell of a lot more than just a cock.
Ooh.
Again, more demonization of men and their male sexuality.
And not
even a really large one. Any old size will do. Again, assuming that guys are just all about their penis.
Yeah, we're like, I have
we're Penis Academy.
Plum has 7-inch manhood.
So fucking dumb. Takes more than just a cock to please a woman. Really? 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 Really good advice.
could write
A lot more than just a cock to please a woman. Don't we say in our ebook that...
I think we
Do we even talk about a cock pleasing a woman at all in our ebook?
He just threw it in there.
I guess. I could write a book about this stuff. I would pay money to read this guy's book. I want to see what it's going to say.
Well, it's going to have more shit like this.
But I really don't want to.
Oh, okay.
I'm too busy trying to point out all the asshole men who feel that their dicks give them some special kind of privilege.
Huh.
And the ways they try to hold women back in every aspect of life. So his assumption is that our cocks give us special privileges. That men, not the fact that men created everything, men provide all the protection for women in the world, men, created civilization so that women could benefit from it.
You can only see a cock.
He thinks that men just want special privileges just because they have a cock.
He forgets to see the other parts.
This is the ultimate mangina. This is the epitome of the mangina. Of course, he says here, I haven't had the pleasure of actually reading the Manhood Academy site yet. I'm just a fucking retard who makes knee-jerk assumptions like a chick. Emotional assumptions like a chick. Like a mangina. I think I'll need to make sure I'm physically gauged and subdued so that I don't start growling, barking, and gnawing on the furniture as I want to do when I encounter complete and utter idiocy of the sexist kind. So he has no idea what's on our site.
He already made
assumptions.
And he keeps going with them.
Yes. But yet he's already saying that it's going to be the sexist, misogynistic crap. I'll be writing more in depth about this very soon, once I've amply sedated myself so that I can read the writings of Doctors Dumb and Dumber without suffering a bout of apoplexy. Apoplexy? I don't even know. Apoplexy. APOPLEXY. I don't even want to Google it. I'm kind of curious, but no, don't tell me. Don't Google it.
Okay.
He's going to write more in depth later for us. Can't wait.
Okay. It's a medical term for bleeding.
Great. All right. Enough of that. Right. Enough of that faggotry. So this is the typical feminist, the typical emasculated mangina, typical raging cunt. We just read 2 posts from. We have a cunt, a laboratory definition of a cunt, and a clinical mangina. We have them both here.
So Manhood forum is like a safe haven for a guy who can think properly.
It's like what's that movie, Dawn of the Dead, where everybody's a zombie out there? Everybody's like a raging cunt, and Manhood Academy's like that stronghold. It's
you're still like as like an underground thing. We're still there.
Still underground. We're all in hiding. All the men are in hiding. Okay, what else do we have on the agenda? Let's pop up wave.google.com. Let's see what else we got here.
I'll tell you what we got. All right. The feminist talk about expectation management chick on podcast. I wonder for which one was
I wanted to talk about, this was actually a practical thing. Oh, this is actually kind of important.
Yeah.
This deals with the chick that was on one of the podcasts where I was talking to her, the cool chick we had a good conversation with.
I like that chick,
okay.
Yeah.
So, she's a very independent, quote, independent type woman where
vocal.
Vocal. I want to be equal. So she doesn't want to listen to what a man has to say.
Okay.
So in order to get my expectations met with a girl like that, what do I need to do?
Apply pain. I hate using those terms.
You
Dr.
retard.
Will hit me on
you retard.
Okay.
That's even the wrong answer.
Hold on. Give her some incentive, and then when she doesn't do what you tell her to do, give her pain.
Okay.
All right.
Again, bogs the coast. Too dumb to answer the question. That's why he's the worst student at Manhood Academy. Let's try and break this down. Let's see if we can walk you through it. You see a person on the street.
Mm-hmm.
You want them to paint your house.
Yeah.
So, according to you, you tell them to paint their house, and if they don't do it, you punch them in the nuts, right?
Give them incentive. That's why I corrected myself later.
What do you do?
Give them incentive. You tell them, like a painter, you give them money, right? So your money is you're conveying your experience, you're making them fucking getting their emotions up. How do I explain that?
I don't know. We're just trying to keep it simple.
Okay.
Make a simple analogy here.
Yeah.
You're giving them money. Money is incentivizing their work effort.
Yes.
So now they're going to paint your house because you gave them something that they can benefit from.
Yes, something that they value.
Something that they value. So with a chick.
Yeah. It would be like, hi, I like giving her compliments, giving her some, sugar kind of in terms of the way you speak and the way you make her feel good about herself.
So you just compliment her. Hey, you're awesome.
No, you just talk about your experiences and you control the conversation. You show her that you have certain skills where she can feel secure around you. It's kind of hard for me to do it real time,
What else is pleasurable to a girl besides expressing yourself in
conveying your thoughts in a
candid manner? Besides that, yeah.
Direction, leading. Initiating is pleasure. Yeah, if you do it properly, it's pleasurable. That's all I can think of.
So initiating is the only thing you can think of.
Yeah. I'll just let you continue.
It pays to listen to Manhood Academy.
Right.
Leading, you had it right. I don't know why you didn't finish. Giving a woman a direction.
Direction and sticking with the direction and holding her hand through it. But as soon as you meet, okay, here's the problem. As soon as you meet a chick, you're gonna, I guess, compliment her and then give her some direction. You're not.
Okay, so I've met this chick for a while.
Okay, for a while now you're changing. Okay,
and now I have some expectations of her, of a quote unquote independent feminist chick.
Okay.
Do what I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to cause her to listen to me?
Her.
I just said, do what I tell you.
Emotional investment in you.
Yes. Yes.
Why did we switch from a chick we just met to a chick who's like now you know for a
Well, because we're taking it further now.
Okay.
We're managing a relationship now because how many times can you meet a chick for the first time?
Till you find a girl.
How many times can you meet a chick for the first time?
Quite a few times until you meet one.
No, the same chick. How many times can you meet the same chick for the first time?
Only once.
Only once. After that, then what?
After that, you give her direction and manage your expectations.
No, after that,
you can't.
you're trying to start a relationship.
Yes, yeah. Well, go on a date and then it goes to a relationship.
So everything is not about just expressing yourself candidly or giving her a compliment. At some point, you're creating a relationship, so you have to start leading her.
You're giving her direction.
You're giving her direction, which you really should be doing in the beginning of when you very first start meeting her and talking to her. You can do that in subtle ways or in direct ways, but the longer you are in this relationship with her, the more you're talking to her, the more you're interacting with her, the more you have to start leading her. The more it's imperative that you lead her, that you give her direction. So there has to be that incentive. There has to be that emotional investment. You have to be meeting her needs. You have to be making her happy.
Yeah, so
if you're candidly expressing yourself, you're meeting
So let's break it down.
other types of needs that she has. Let's say you're, I don't know,
Candid expression seems to be a big
buying her dinner. No, I don't want to make this into a traditional date scenario, but I'm just trying to think of examples of just meeting her needs, like what she would need. Painting her house, I don't know,
doing things for her that she can't do.
Yeah, doing things for her she can't do.
Or she needs guidance.
Giving her advice, guidance at her work. Being the leader of where you want to go out at night or what you want to eat. Making those decisions. When you make those decisions, that's a pleasurable thing for her. Giving her a feeling of security. Mm-hmm. Right? You're in charge. When you're in charge, when everything's in order, your house is in order, you know what's going on. Like, when a girl is with a guy who knows what to do, she feels very secure, very safe. So if you're always like, I don't know what to do in this situation, I don't know where to go, I don't know where we should eat, I don't know what to think right now, I don't know if my opinion's valid or not, I don't know if I can comment on this movie that we just saw, I don't know if I can do this or that. If you're that type of guy,
if you're neurotic,
a girl is gonna, if you're neurotic, she's gonna feel neurotic too. She's gonna feel very insecure around you. But if, let's say she's fat, or she's ugly, or she's just not, she doesn't feel attractive. She may be hot, but she may not feel attractive. And she's like, my dress is not good. My hair is not done. My makeup's not on. I don't look that great today. I bloated. Blah. And you're like, shut up. You look awesome. You look sexy. And you're very direct. You're very secure in being able to state your opinion. You're leading her. You're not like neurotically worrying. I don't know. I don't know what to say in this. I don't know if I'm allowed to say you look beautiful. I don't want to disagree with you. I don't want to, I don't want to risk hurting your feelings. Blah blah blah. If you're this neurotic guy, she feels insecure around you. Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
Turn it off.
Yeah. How about fucking turn that off? She feels insecure around you. Mm-hmm. So you have to practice leading a girl, even if you're making the wrong decisions. Mm-hmm. You still have to practice
going in some direction.
The more secure you make her feel, the happier she's going to be. The more you're able to lead her and make a decision, the happier she's going to be.
I think the incentive is the biggest part on this.
It is a huge part.
Because, I mean, as guys, like, we're not even able to provide enough incentive where you would want to continue reading our stuff. Like,
exactly.
That's one of our biggest, You're not
being able to convey yourself. That reminds me. Yeah. I want to cover a fail and set. This is the next post we're gonna cover.
Shall we?
Actually, let's cover. I wanted to cover mother-son's post because it was so fucking confusing. It's like the opposite of providing incentive. Yeah, I think some of it's like fucking fantasy land. But it's just so disjointed and chaotic. I'm like, what is going on here? It makes me feel insecure. I don't feel comfortable reading it. So this is what I'm talking about. If a chick doesn't feel secure talking to you, being around you, she's not able to enter into your experience. She's not going to have the incentive to invest her emotions in you. But if you do lead her, if you are able to take charge of her, then if you can demonstrate that you can lead and you have the capacity to lead and the ability to do so, she's going to start investing emotionally in you. And the more she invests in you, the more you can start introducing greater expectations. Like for you to tell somebody, listen to what I tell you to do. Whatever I tell you, you do it. That sounds pretty domineering. That sounds like fascist, like Hitler.
You're commanding.
If you told a girl that right off the bat, she'd be like, fuck off, go away. But if she has emotional investment,
because of your incentive,
because of the incentive you're providing,
all right, let's break
she's
it down.
going to start listening. So,
how many people can provide incentive on a consistent basis? You, Dr. Ladice, and maybe sometimes franchise, but other than that, there's only a handful of people who can do it.
That's why you're students at Manhood Academy and not graduates at Manhood Academy. It's called practice.
So, creating the incentive is the biggest one, a very big part.
Sweet. So, I'm going to tell you how that works out in real life experience. So, this girl has a lot of emotional incentive, has invested herself emotionally in me. And so now I'm introducing an expectation. She wanted to do, I wanted to work out with her. So I said, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. I said, let's go running or something like that. And she wanted to go biking. Okay. And I said, no. I'm going to come home at X time. And I don't want you to go biking. I want you to go running with me, right?
Okay.
So now I'm giving her my expectation. This is basically saying, I'm in charge. You do what I tell you. That's essentially what I'm saying. So she's like, no. I said, look, do what I tell you. So what did she do?
Pouted and just didn't like what you suggested.
Okay. So what did she do?
But then, depending on how emotionally invested she was in you, she probably did it anyway in the end.
Nope.
Okay.
She didn't do it in the end.
Okay.
She was like, blah, 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 made some excuses, and then we just said goodbye. And she said something like kind of vaguely, like implying she might follow what I was saying, follow my direction, like we were going to go running together.
Uh-huh.
But I called back later, and what had she done?
She went running?
She went out biking, asshole.
Oh, and you wanted running, right?
Yes, I wanted to go running. Okay. So I was ready to go running with her, but she had already gone biking.
Okay.
Not paid attention.
Okay, she didn't listen.
So now, she wanted to do something she liked. She said, let's go out to a movie or go out to dinner.
You're like,
And I said, don't act like a cunt. You do what I tell you. Offended, don't call me that. That's mean. What did I say?
Don't act like a cunt.
Don't act like a cunt. Do what I tell you. She said, first of all, I don't like it when you call me a cunt.
Yeah, of course.
Second of all, I thought we were supposed to share and talk it out and da-da-da.
Yeah, the usual.
What did I say?
Don't act like a cunt.
Don't act like a cunt.
I'm kind of getting it now.
Do what I tell you.
Yeah.
She said, look. And she did it, right? Right?
She did what?
She stopped acting like a cunt. She decided she was going to do what I told her, right?
Okay. No.
What did she say?
You shouldn't talk to me like this.
You shouldn't talk to me like that.
I can't believe you keep going.
I can't believe it. I'm trying to talk to you.
Don't
What did I tell her?
Don't act like a cunt.
Don't act like a cunt.
You're making me repeat the same thing. Stop acting like
Do what I tell you.
Do what I told you.
So what did she say?
She probably fought it for a while and then she's like, alright.
No. You have no fucking experience with girls.
Yeah, I don't.
She said, look.
You're a meme.
If you don't start being respectful, I'm going to hang up.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Don't act like a cunt.
Don't act like a cunt. Do what I tell you.
Okay.
She said, look, we already talked about this in the beginning. You need to understand that I'm going to be independent, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm done with this. Okay?
Okay. And what do you say?
And what did I say?
Don't act like a cunt.
Don't act like a cunt. Do what I tell you.
You stuck to it.
So, she hung up.
And then she goes,
That was it. Now, we were supposed to spend like a couple days together because she had some time off or something and we were going to do like a little vacation thing. Blew that. So, what happens then?
to whom? You or her?
To the whole thing. What happens?
Well, you know how to get other chicks, so you got no problem.
What happens?
You're gonna move on to other chicks, and she's gonna, I don't know, think about it. That's what I can think about it.
So what happens?
The disorder ended either way. She wasn't listening to you. She was being a pain in the ass.
So what happened? What was the conclusion?
Conclusion is you stayed with your expectations regardless of the outcome or the consequence.
Okay.
She didn't, well, biking's close enough to running. Okay, I want to bang her in the future, so okay, let's just do biking. You didn't do that.
What happened in the end? At the end, what was the conclusion finally?
She didn't meet your expectation.
Yes. So then?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, of course you don't fucking know.
I wasn't there. How the hell would I know?
You would know if you were paying attention to the ebook. If you're paying attention in class. If you weren't the worst student in class, you would know.
Okay. Well, I am the worst student, so
Yes.
let's get to it.
Okay, so probably 4 days pass, 5 days, no calls. Usually we talk every day,
She probably thought
text
about
every day, right? So what's going on during that time?
She's thinking about it.
Emotional investment is kicking in.
Okay. All right.
So now, like maybe 5 days later,
Mhm.
I get the first of a text.
Hey.
Hey, you want to hang out?
What did you say? Stop acting like a cunt.
I don't know. What did I say?
Well,
I said that's awesome. You call, you text me back, right?
Yeah.
No. Why didn't I say it's awesome? Why didn't she came back? That's good. So I should.
Oh, but then her attitude. You don't know if it has been resolved.
It's not resolved.
not
My
resolved.
expectation is not resolved.
But yeah, at least she's showing.
She's coming back.
Yeah.
So at least the emotional I know
Yeah.
the emotional investment's there.
Yeah, but you don't know the attitude's fixed already. Yeah, it's
But
not.
but nothing is resolved.
Yeah.
She's not going to say. Hey, she hasn't said. Hey, I'm going to listen to you from now on. Do what you say.
So I don't know what to text.
Of course, you don't know what to text. So I say, don't act like a cunt.
Oh, you're stuck with
Do
it.
what I
Yeah.
tell you.
You keep it simple. Okay. Wow. Okay.
She said, look, blah, blah, blah.
Copy paste. Don't act like.
Don't act like a cunt. Do what I tell you.
Okay.
Now, I changed it up a little bit to explain some other things, but the gist of what I was saying was this exact same thing. I didn't really change the message. I said, look, stop acting like a cunt. When I tell you to do something, you do it.
Okay.
That's it. It's the bottom line. She made some more excuses. I said the same thing. She made some more excuses. I said the same thing. Eventually, that's it.
She finally.
I'm in charge. So now, when I see her again, it's my way.
Okay.
Or it's the highway. Same thing happens. Through that whole episode, what happens?
She's more attracted to you.
Yes, there's more what?
Security. More emotional investment.
Yes,
created.
more emotional investment created.
And yeah, to the trained eye, this is visible, but to the untrained eye,
To the untrained eye, it just looks like arguing going on. But to the trained eye, there is emotional investment being built up.
Yeah, because you're like constant, like something's not changing, and that is like.
So when a woman comes up against a guy who has authority over her and exercises it and shows her that he is going in a definite direction and is not wavering from it, emotional investment gets built up. So I was down during those 5 days, but I've also have experience with emotional investment. So I was kind of like, on one hand, in the back of my hand, there's always the chance that she's just going to go off and that's it. There's always that possibility. But I built up an emotional investment to realize that there's a good chance that she's just basically going to, go, okay, well, he's providing me the incentive, so I'm going to do what he says. And there's what happened.
Even you feel dumb?
No, I'm a robot. I'm immune.
It's like when all the guys don't get a chick, they come, they're on the side, like, I can't. So.
Well, I'm like you. I'm not like thrown about by all the winds that come around. Yes, I may feel that way, but I'm not gonna.
But you have wisdom, so.
I'm not gonna like dwell on that, and I'm not gonna. I could post about it, but I have a more realistic view of it. I'm not gonna say, oh, nobody ever liked me, this and that. I failed, this and that. Because it's like I said, it's how you look at the failure. If you look at this and the chick doesn't do what you say, yeah, you might see it as a failure. But if you look at the overall result, you go, oh, it was part of a bigger plan.
Yeah, well, I was talking about the emotional reaction.
Oh, the emotional reaction. Well, your emotions are your emotions, but you have a will and you have a mind that you could train to view things in a objective, more mature way versus you just view things according to how you feel, like most people.
Okay.
Like you could be like this Mangina guy who's like hasn't read the site but already has this vision of us according to how he feels. Oh, you guys must be the guys with leading yourselves around by your dicks.
Okay.
That's how I feel. No objective view.
Okay, and that takes training.
It takes training.
Okay.
It takes discipline to develop an objective view. Discipline is not
because I get down
an objective view is not a default setting.
Okay.
Emotional view is a default setting.
Yes. And it is possible to have an objective view with proper training here. Because right now it's like seems like a dream.
Well, it's always gonna be subjective to some extent because it's your view, but you're gonna have a more reasonable view, I should say.
Okay, yeah.
A view dictated by reason versus your emotions, how you feel about the situation versus what the situation actually is.
Okay.
So that was my expectation management story. Feminist questions on the site. We answered that. Oh, now I think we can talk about mother son's entry, and let's pause it. Let's pause it. Hold on. Let's do this real quick, and then we'll take a break.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go to mother son's post in where was it? In Convey Your Experience or Convey Your Person?
Let's see.
Mother son's post. Where are you, sir? I don't see this guy.
Oh, there it is. MS's point of view.
Where is it? I don't even see
the
this
bottom
fucker.
of the page.
How did it get to the bottom?
The more you post, I think, the more recent you post, it goes, wait, no.
That's not true.
No, he posted in expectation management, dude.
Fucking guy. He's tricky.
Yeah, he posted that and that.
Alright, let's go to his expectation management post here.
Yeah, let's just click that. 2:50 a.m. Where is this guy from? Is he U.S.? Or is he a foreigner?
I'm trying to navigate this cocksucker forum, and it's not. There we go. Okay.
Is this guy U.S. or foreign guy?
There we go.
Foreign student?
I always imagine this guy from Detroit or something like that.
Okay. But is he still writing on his phone? It seems like that.
Phone. Okay, here we go. Let's see. His post. Okay, I fell into a similar cycle of passiveness. Is that it?
No, dude. Hold on.
Where is
I met this chick.
Oh, wait. No. Am I in the last one?
Expectation
Oh, there we
management.
go. It's the last post. I don't know the last one yet.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is a great example of how not to do, how not to post, how to not bring, how to say this. This is a perfect example of how to not arrange your post in an orderly manner so that people can get into your experience and can relate to your experience.
Yeah, I was reading up halfway and I was like, what the? Not
Yes,
even half.
this just jumps all over. Okay. I met this chick named Renee through a friend of mine a month ago, and we've been talking ever since.
Okay, that's
clear. I understand what's going on.
Okay.
She has been adamant about taking me on a date. I told her, okay, for this one time.
I don't know how we got to there, but anyway.
Okay. So he met this chick through a friend. She'd been adamant about taking me on a date. Yeah, but why? Why does he want to take her on a date?
Somehow it ended there. Anyway.
Yeah, it just jumps all over the place. Okay, I told her, okay, for this one time I'll be the chick and you can pamper me and overpay for my pussy. Okay, so I guess he's trying to say that he's
going to be a hot chick.
He's going to kind of switch roles. He's just kind of playing around with her and saying, I'm going to be the chick, you're going to be the guy. Okay. Christmas Eve, the night of the event. We had no plan. The original one was to go to a club and listen to poetry, but she's not 21 yet.
Hold on, clubs have poetry?
I guess so. Okay. Poetry reading club? I don't know.
Check that. Oh, okay.
So after work, I called her and we met at my job. The date was hilarious. We argued a small bit as we shopped for last-minute gifts for our families. The argument was light, and it was about the movie we were going to see. I told her, since I'm the bitch, I get to choose. Okay. She said, fine, just like a pussy guy.
What?
Okay, she's the pussy guy. Okay. She got a call last minute about her family going to Jersey. So she said we were going out to eat instead. See, I don't get this.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he says she got a call last minute about her family going to Jersey.
In the last minute. She got a call in the last
minute. Okay, I don't know what the last minute is, last minute for the movie, whatever. But he says, so she said we were going out to eat instead. I mean, what is this? It's like such a non sequitur. It doesn't transition, so I don't know what's going on. I had no problem with that. We went to this barbecue restaurant, and I had the fucking MJ of burgers, the goat, okay?
What is MJ of burgers?
Like the Michael Jordan of burgers, okay? The conversation was light, but I directed her with my advances.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Okay. Very vague. Again, not bringing people into their experiences, right?
Is that PUA?
I guess. I don't know. She started kicking me, and I asked why. She smiled and said, footsies. I told her, well, aim higher and to the right. She smiled in fall direction.
What does that mean?
Footsies under the table?
No, I know that. But what is he accomplished by her?
I don't know. He doesn't explain it.
Okay.
After dinner, she said, where to next? I said, let's take one of those horse carriage rides like that one Seinfeld episode and make out. She smiled and said, okay. That idea didn't happen due to ATM problems. Okay, so is that ATM problems? Does that mean the ATM was broken or somebody's broke or somebody doesn't have money? Or,
I guess.
Okay, I guess. She can't get money out? I don't know.
So
she said there's an adult store over here.
Money for that then.
Okay. We went and tried to watch a peep show, but got separated since she's 20. Okay, listen to the sentence. Listen to the sentence. We went and tried to watch a peep show, but got separated since she's 20.
Yeah, meaning she couldn't get in because she's 20 or something. Yeah.
Okay, so did they go into so it sounds like they went into an adult store.
And they couldn't get into the peep show.
Did she not go into the store?
I think she went in the store, but she couldn't go into the show or something.
We went and tried to watch a peep show. There's peep shows in adult store. Is this a bookstore? Because I've never seen an adult bookstore.
Yeah, there's some adult stores that have peep shows, yeah.
Okay. But got separated since she's 20. What does her being 20 have to do with them being separated? It doesn't say it sounds like almost like there's a crowd and, I think it's separated. It's like, I remember that one scene from Dawn of the Dead where the crowd is rushing out and that boy is being pulled by the crowd and and the dad or whoever the other person is that knows the boy is reaching out to him and they get separated by the crowd. That's like a forced separation, but this is like, they're in a store. How do they get separated?
Separated meaning he went away to watch the show and she couldn't come.
Yeah, but does that mean she's lost? Get separated means like, it implies that there's like an unwanted
Like I
separation.
got separated from you in the fair.
Yeah, but that's like you're getting lost. Not.
Yeah.
It's like we agree to meet in a different place.
Oh.
That's a different type of separation. So it's not clear. And it's like separated since she's 20. It's not explaining the situation.
I would think if you're 18, you can watch any kind of shit.
Yeah, but that's not the fucking point. It's not explaining the situation. It's not explicit.
Well, I'm trying to understand what he might say.
Yeah. So it's just fucking
And then anyway,
confusing as hell.
The peep show
The peep show sucked anyway.
Okay.
We then went to a church and so they didn't get separated. See, it's like we reunited. What happened? She got separated? I thought she got lost or something. We then went to a church and I guess he meant listen to a small orchestra.
Hold on. So there's a church open at night. Okay.
I don't know. It just jumps. He's like a peep show. Then you go to a church.
There's too much happening
It's
here.
like fucking Matrix. It's like he should just say, I flipped the switch on my helmet and I brought up the church scenario and when me and Picard both entered into the holodeck.
But it's hilarious. All these different things happening.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. It's like
is this real? Like
I'm wondering if this is real life. But
you went to a club for poetry.
poetry club. Then he went to a peep show. Then to a church for an orchestra. And then we had a horse and carriage ride. It sounds like he was like fucking high the whole time. He has no credibility here. It's like,
Yeah.
what? Are you kidding me?
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, awesome. If somebody can really do all this. I've never heard of somebody doing all these different events
Yeah.
in one evening.
This sounds like you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like he's on the street with 3 shells and he say, "Hey, pick the ball in the shell and you win $5." It sounds like the shell game to me.
And, okay.
I made jokes about doing dirty things to her in the bathroom.
What the fuck? How the hell did he end up here now?
We're now with a church and we made out a few times on the way to us leaving. Okay.
Dude, he's from the church. He ended up in the
So
bathroom.
Neo first ends up in the carriage with or Mr. Anderson ends up in the carriage with
No, first they go poetry,
Seinfeld. Okay.
then restaurant, then restaurant.
He wanted to take a. Are they in a carriage? Wait, did I just imagine that? After dinner, she said, I want to
Too many
take a carriage
transitions
ride.
happening.
Okay, so the carriage ride, the adult store,
The poetry.
peep show, poetry reading, peep show, church,
She got
bathroom.
a call last moment. Wait, what did the last moment call have to do with anything? It didn't.
Okay, I put her in her place when she told me that upon meeting me at my job that if I was fat, she was turning the other way around. Okay, started talking on the net through her friend. See, this is all fucking convoluted. Like, to make your way through this? Oh my god.
Told her that.
You know what? I need to. I don't know why I didn't do this before. I need to move this post. I need to moderate this post.
Oh yeah, it's still in the
I
expectation.
can't believe I left this in here. I must have been fucking out of my
It's
mind.
going to the
Yeah,
retard roster.
it's going to the retard roster. Let's move this out of here.
Academic probation.
Let's go.
You thought academic probation would be more appropriate than the toilet symbol? More educational?
Yeah, I thought it would be more educational.
The toilet is more like humiliating. But
Yeah, it's. I don't want you to think this was some kind of bizarre S&M
okay, yeah.
scenario. We're going to call this confusion.
Confusion game.
Confusion game. We're going to call this confusion game.
Just include a whole bunch of transitions without any context.
Yeah, that's an excellent description. Let me post it.
It's funny, I can see it in other people.
Lots of what was it? Lots of
Transitions
without any proper context or explanation.
Explanations accompanying them.
A bad Matrix
Movie
movie.
that failed at the box office.
This reads like a bad Matrix movie. Lots of transitions without any proper context or explanation. This reads like a bad Matrix movie.
Even that feminist
This is
was
a guy who seldom listens to grammar directions.
Yeah.
It's a shame because he says he's a writer and he's aspiring to write better, but fucking guy needs to learn how to police his grammar and arrange a sentence in a way that brings us into that experience. The way I love the rank I put here. I forgot. He's the Secretary of Chinese Grammar. So this is a warning label. If you have this rank under your icon that says Secretary of Chinese Grammar, it means you're fucking confusing as hell, and that is something you don't want on there.
Yeah, you want to be clear.
You don't want to have that ranking. If you have that ranking, you should be ashamed. You should be in shame and cowering now. I know a lot of guys on here aren't English majors, and I don't want to put a super high standard of grammar upon you. I just want to make sure that your sentences are clear, concise, coherent. They don't even have to be advanced. They don't have to be, super duper full of analogies like Boggs' sentences. I just want to be able to clearly understand. That's it. That's the bottom line requirement for grammar. I understand you're going to make spelling mistakes, but don't leave words out, and make sure your sentences, just make sense. They have periods where they need to go. They're not just broken up and disjointed.
Well, the words missing out is proofreading.
A lot of major grammar problems are like missing words. Just fucks up a sentence. Or they don't have, it's like a huge long run-on sentence that needs a period somewhere. So you don't have all these jumbled clauses in one tight little space that just confuse the reader.
Well, to fix that, they have to proofread it.
Yeah, it helps if you can proofread. That's why I recommend, if you have the Secretary of Chinese Grammar as your rank, that every fucking post you post, I'm talking about every fucking post you make, you should read it out loud.
Yeah. And
You can hear the mistakes when you read it out loud, yeah. If you read it out loud, you will catch a lot of the mistakes, a lot of the obvious mistakes. Maybe not the more subtle mistakes, but at least the very obvious mistakes you'll catch if you read it out loud. Take the time to read your post out loud if you are the Secretary of Chinese Grammar.
What about these guys that are typing from their work and stuff during break and they don't want to read it loud?
Good for fucking them. This is not Excuse Academy.
Okay.
This is not Convenience Academy. Do the fucking work.
They can still read it in their mind or something, yeah.
They can read it out loud. Do the fucking work. Find a way to read it out loud. Don't make excuses for not reading it out loud.
Yeah, because, then people can't understand you.
All right, I think that's long enough. Thanks for joining us. We'll continue this in another podcast. Thank you. This has been Professor Plum and
Boggles
saying
bye-bye
and
have a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! Whoop whoop!